Good morning everyone. Welcome to the class for seating arrangement as a part of your IBPS clerk prelims preparation. And we have done one class on puzzles earlier in which we have done the matching and tabulation questions, and in this class we have been looking at the puzzle questions based on seating arrangement, which are very important in the banking exams, whether you talk about PO or clerical. In the prelims also, for the clerk examination you will see at least 10 questions out of 35 based on seating arrangements. You can see that is how important seating arrangement is as a question for you. Now the level of difficulty for the clerk examination as compared to PO is slightly milder. We will be looking at both types of seating arrangement in this class, that is linear seating arrangement as well as circular seating arrangement. So the class will be to understand the goal for the class is to understand the seating arrangement problems and also develop an approach of solving the questions by discussion of problems. Alright, now let's see. The first type of seating arrangement question is what we say is a linear seating arrangement question. So let's understand that there are a total of 3 types of questions you can get from seating arrangement. One is the linear seating arrangement. It is in a row, the number of people seated in a row. It can be one row or it can be 2 parallel rows also. Clear? The linear seating arrangement question, the structure will be that there are some x number of persons who are sitting or standing in a row and all of them are facing north or south. So let's see, that's the basic structure. So let's say there are 6 persons A, B, C, D and E and F. How do you start solving the question? That's what you're seeing. A, B, C, D, E and F are standing in a row, facing north. So the moment we see the first statement of the question, we understand what we have to do to start solving the question. So 2 things are there. One is that we see how many persons are there and we say how many positions we need, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you immediately do that, you make 6 positions for these 6 persons and also understand that they are facing north. So this is very important here, because if they are facing north, then you can say that the right side will be towards east, this will be your right, and left will be towards west. Or we can also say in simple words that right will be towards your right and left will be towards your left. So this is how you make the positions for the 6 persons, and you understand immediately which side is right and which side is left, because according to that you are going to solve the questions. So the second scenario that can happen is that they are facing south. So if they are facing south, the directions will reverse. Right will then become towards your left and left will become towards your right. Okay. Now if there are 2 rows, understand if there are 2 rows in which they are sitting or standing, 2 parallel rows, let's say there are 4 persons in one row and 4 on the other row. So there are 4 persons in one row who are facing south. So usually this is the condition given to us, but 4 persons are there in one row who are facing south and 4 in the parallel row facing north, and always the condition is that the persons are seated in such a way that every person in one row is sitting exactly opposite a person in the other row. For example, this person is facing this person. This is what we mean by facing. If you see the word that one person is facing the other, just understand what does it mean. And these 2 last positions are what we call as extreme ends. So if the question say a person is not sitting at the extreme ends, you should understand what this meaning of extreme end. I am just getting you familiar with the terminologies that you will see in a question of seating arrangement, so that when you read the question you completely understand what it means. So the position on the left end and the position on the right end, similarly here this one and this one, these are the extreme ends of each row. So understand the meaning of the word extreme end. Now you also get the word like immediate neighbor. So what is the meaning of the word immediate neighbor? Now it's quite simple to understand. The word is self-explanatory, but what is the meaning of the word immediate neighbor? Let's understand more in the context. Let's say here person is A is here and D is here. Then we can say that A is an immediate neighbor of D. So you can see that A is right next to D, immediate left of D, and D is immediate right of A. So you can say that D is an immediate neighbor of A. Suppose we place one person here and say let this be F. So you can say that D is an immediate neighbor of both A and F. So this word immediate neighbor, that's also a word that you will come across while solving a question. Also, you get phrases like, let's say, taking the first scenario and example. Let's say that there is a statement which says that A is second to the left of F. A is second to the left of F. So what we should know is the position of A is given to you. So whose position is given to you? A's position is given to you with respect to whose position? F's position, not the other way around, right? So it's not that F is sitting to the second right of A, it's A who is to the second left of F. As you can see very clearly here, F is here, and when we go from F towards the left, because this is your left, then this is first to the left and this is second to the left. So that's second to the left of F, second to the left. So these are the phrases that you will come across. I am just trying to make you comfortable with the phrases so that you have no difficulty in understanding these words like second to the left or third to the right. And there are two scenarios. One is single row, where all the persons are just sitting in one row and all of them are facing north or south, as you can see here. North means that right will be towards east and left will be towards west, and if they are facing south, then it will reverse. Then right will be towards west and left will be towards east. So this is one type of question that you get in seating arrangement, single row or two rows. Next is we have questions based on circular arrangement. So in a circular arrangement, suppose there are 6 persons or 7 or 8 persons as the question tells you, sitting around a circle. So the first thing that you do is to make a circle. Okay, this is a circle, and let's say there are 8 persons. So 1, 2, make the 8 positions first before you start solving, and even if it's not mentioned in the question, be sure that the 8 positions are equidistant from each other. Otherwise the question will say or use the word equidistant, right? Each of them is equidistant. So that means the distance between them is same. And also the question can say that there are 2 scenarios, that one is where they are facing towards the center. So what is the meaning of facing towards the center? If someone is facing towards the center, then right will be in the anti-clockwise direction. Let's say this person is facing towards the center. So he is facing, now you can see that he is facing south in a way. So he is facing towards the center, then right will be towards the anti-clockwise. This will be your right and this will be your left. So right will be in the anti-clockwise direction and left will be in the clockwise direction when a person is facing towards the center. And facing opposite the center or facing away from the center. So we can have the word facing away or opposite the center. Clear? So facing away from the center or facing opposite to the center. Let's say this person is facing away from the center, is facing in the opposite direction. Then if you see here, now right will be in the clockwise direction. Okay, this side, this is the clockwise direction, and left will be in the anti-clockwise direction. So according to which side they are facing, you have to interpret the statements. A is second left of F. We need to understand whether F is facing towards the center or away from the center in order to understand their respective positions. If you don't do that, you will not get the right answer. Clear? So that's a little bit about circular arrangement question. Now when we solve the questions today in this class, you will get more understanding of what exactly needs to be done for solving questions like these. And then we have the third type of question that is based on a square arrangement. So the arrangement around a square, which is quite similar to a question of circular arrangement, with some basic differences, that the square has corners and sides. Circle does not have corners and sides, whereas square has corners and sides. So let's say there are 8 persons who are seated around a square table. So there is a square table such that 4 of them are at the corners. So these are the 4 corners. So 4 are at the corners. These are your corners, right? Clear? Or the vertices, you can say. Usually they use the word corners in the question. So there are 4 vertices, 4 corners. The 4 persons are at the corners and 4 are at the center of each side. 4 are at the middle of each of these sides. So total 8 positions, and additionally what will happen, they will mention that something like the ones at the corner are facing away and ones at the sides are facing towards, or vice versa, whichever way the question is framed. So ideally they will give you different directions that they are facing for those who are at the corners as compared to those who are at the centers, and for this you have to read the directions carefully, the direction given in the question, before you make the diagram and start solving the question. In addition to except the words like corners and sides, both circular seating arrangement and square seating arrangement are very similar in the way we solve them. Clear? These are the types of questions you will normally come across. So what we will do now is we will take one example question for linear seating arrangement and see how to solve this question. So there are 6 people, C, D, E, F, G and H, were standing in a straight line facing north, not necessarily in the same order. So when you come across, so there are 3 things. First is facing north, that's already I discussed with you. The 6 persons, that's okay. Now not necessarily in the same order, this is a phrase that you will find in almost all the questions of puzzles. So not necessarily in the same order means the order is not like C, D, E, F, G and H. That means it just needs to tell you, the question is informing you that there is no order given in the direction, that you have to find out the order, and that is what the question is all about. Clear? Then we have some clues given to you. So here from this point onwards we have, so the first half of the question is where you have directions, and the second half of the question is where you have clues, hints, clues given to you with respect to the position of some of them, and we have to work with the given clues and find out the positions of the remaining persons, and ultimately find out the position of each person in that row, and then we can solve the questions. So if you solve this question, let's see, there are 3 questions which I have asked here. What is the position of G with respect to E? Which of the following pair represents the people standing at the extreme ends? Now this also I have explained to you. And who is standing second to the right of C? What is the meaning of phrases like second to the right? This also I have explained to you. Clear? Now let's see here, before we answer these 3 questions, we will first solve this question. So there are 6 persons, C, D, E, F, G and H, standing in a straight line facing north, not necessarily in the same order. So what you will do is you will first make 6 positions as we had discussed earlier. So make 6 positions here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we know that all of them are facing north. They are facing north, that means this is our right and this is our left. So right is towards our right, left is towards our left, or we can say that right is towards east and left is towards west. All of them are facing north. So that's one part and it's done. So this part of the question we have done. That is the direction part of the question. Now we go to the clue part of the question. Start with the first clue, D standing second right of F. Now we don't know where is F, so we cannot place, this is an indirect clue because we don't know directly now where to place F. There are so many positions F can take. So if we see here, D is second right of F. So can F be here? No, this cannot be F because there is someone to the right of F. So this is not possible for F. This is also not possible for F because D is second right. This is first right, this is second right. So it's again not possible. So the one possible option is this one. So this can be F, this can be D, this can be F, and this will be D. This will be, can also be F, or this can be also. So many possibilities are there. So right now we will not do anything about it. What we will simply do is we will write down below that D is second right of F. So if I take F here, 1, first right, second right, D, there will be a gap of 1 position between F and D going towards the right of F. That's one thing. Now later on we will find out how to put this, place this in the diagram and get the answer. C is standing 4th to the left of H, and H is not standing on the extreme end of the line. So H is not here, H is not here, and what we know is that C is standing 4th left of H. So let's find out what are the positions that H can take. H cannot come here, so H can come here. This is one position. Suppose H is here. and from this we have to find fourth left of f, going to the left of f. So first left, second left, third left, fourth left. This is the only option. There is no other option. So h will be here and c will be here, because if I place h in this position, c goes out of the diagram. Clear? So that means this clue is what we can actually start working with. We place c standing fourth left of h, so h goes here. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, c comes here, and that's fixed. Clear? This statement is done, and now we go to the last statement. This also we have done, but we have not yet placed f and d in the diagram. E standing second right of d. Now what we see in the first information from the first part of this question in the clues is that f is standing second right, d standing second right of f. As you can see clearly here, we have made this diagram. D standing second right of f, and now we know that E standing second right of D. So from D, if we count first right and second right, then this will be E. That means going from left to right, from F to E, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions, and total we have 6 positions, and the leftmost position is already occupied. So that's the only way we can do it, is we can place F here 1, then D will come here, and then E will come here. So let's do it. Let's place f here. So f goes here, dash, and then this becomes d, and this becomes e. Now the only one left is g, so we'll place g in the last position, and our order will be complete. So now we know exactly who is at what position, and we know that all of them are facing north. Clear? So let's go to the questions and see whether we can solve the 3 questions or not. So let's see the first question here. What is the position of g with respect to e? So if you look at g with respect to E, that's first left, second left, third left. So that means the answer will be third to the left. So that's the answer C. Which of the following pair represents the people standing at the extreme ends of the line? Now I have told you what is the meaning of extreme ends. So let's see here, who are at the extreme ends? C is at the extreme end and E is at the extreme end. So the answer becomes CE. And the third question is, who is standing second right of C? So if you look at second right of C, first right, second right, the answer is G. So we go back here, the answer will be G. So we have done 3 questions. Normally we get a set of 5 questions from one puzzle set, this is a linear seating arrangement. So normally linear seating arrangements are simpler to solve as compared to circular seating arrangements. So we'll later on discuss circular seating arrangement also, but first we'll discuss the previous session contest question. And you see, this is more like I told you, this visual reasoning kind of a question. All the faces of the cubes are painted with red color. The cube is cut into 64 small cubes, and how many cubes have at least 2 faces colored? So you see here, first if I make a diagram for you to understand what is exactly happening. We have a large cube, and we are going to cut this cube into smaller cubes, right? Okay. 64 small cubes. So how many divisions I should make? I should make 4 divisions, like 1, 2, 3. So we'll make a cut here, 1, 2, and 3, and this will be going all the way to the other side. So it's like a vertical slice of a bread that we do. Then we can make 4 of these perpendicular to these, like 1, 2, and 3, and these will go down again, 1, 2, and 3. Now we need our vertical cut, so let's make here 1, 2, and 3, and this will go horizontal all the way. So this is how your square looks after being cut. Okay, the 64 cubes, you can see in the first row, like if you see here carefully, if I show you, this is our first row. So we have 4 by 4, like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 cubes are there. How many are there in one row? 16, and there are total of 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. That's how we get 16 into 4, 64. Now how many have at least 2 faces colored? That means we are looking for 2 or 3. Now we can't have 4 faces colored, so let's look at the cube here. This cube has 3 faces colored, 1, 2, and this side also 3. Clear? And this also has 3, because these are all corner cubes. So corner cubes have 3, and how many corner cubes are there? The answer will be 8, because there are 8 corners. 1 is not visible to you in this diagram. So 3 sides colored, we have 8, and these are our corner cubes. corner cubes are the one which have 3 faces colored. Next we are talking about those which have 2 faces colored. So how do we find out where are the cubes with 2 faces colored? One second, we'll change the color of this link. Okay. If you look at here, this cube has only 2 faces colored. See, this cube also have 2 faces colored. Similarly here, this one, this also has 2 faces, right? So what kind of cubes are these? These are our edge cubes. What cubes? Edge cubes. Cubes which are on the edge. And how many edges we have in a cube? We have 12 edges. You can see 4 on top, 4 on the bottom is 4 plus 4, 8, and 4 vertical ones. So 8 plus 4, 12. And on each edge we have 2 such cubes which have 2 faces colored. So that means a total 12 into 2, that's 24. Final answer will be that the total number of cubes which we are talking about, total number of cubes will be 24 plus 8, 32. So there are 32 cubes which have at least 2 faces colored. Clear? That's the answer for the contest question from the previous session, and this is a question which requires visual reasoning and understanding of diagrams so that you can solve and get the answer. And now we will see the contest question for today. It's based on letter based reasoning and odd one out. So we'll find the odd one out from the options given below, and there are 4 options: A, B, J, L, B, D, Q, U, and C, C, H, K, D, G, M, S. Which is the odd one out from these among these 4 options? Which is the odd one out that you have to find out and post the answer in the comment section. I will be discussing the solution of this question in my next class for reasoning. So let's go to the question here. For circular arrangement, let's understand how to solve circular arrangement questions. Alright, so here we have 6 persons are seated around a circular table in no particular order. All the persons are facing towards the center. So that's again very important. Persons are facing towards the center. Right is in the anti-clockwise direction and left is in the clockwise. As I have discussed earlier also, let's apply this concept in solving this question, and then we have the clues given to you. And there are 3 questions, 1, 2 and 3. So what we'll do first is we'll make the circles. Let's make a circle, and there are 6 persons. So let's make 6 positions as equally distant as possible. So this is 1, this is 2, and I'm making the arrow here because they are facing towards the center. And then we have 3, and let's say this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. So we have made our setting. Setting is done. So this part is over. The 6 persons are seated A, B, C, D, E, F around the circular table in no particular order. All are facing towards the center. Now we go to the clue part of the question, and we start with the first clue here. A is seated second left of F. So let's start with this one, and A's position is given to you with respect to F's position. So I'll place F here. This is my way of solving. I always place the first person at the top here. So A is seated, you can place, although you can place anywhere else also if you want to. Okay, A is seated second to the left of F, second to the left of F. So F is facing towards the center. Right is in the anti-clockwise, left is in the clockwise. So clockwise we have to go 1 and 2, and this will be A. So A is second to the left of F. This clue is done. D and B are seated adjacent to each other. D and B are seated adjacent to each other. B is neither an immediate neighbor of A nor F. So that means B cannot come as an immediate neighbor, and I have explained to you this word before. What is the meaning of an immediate neighbor? Clear? So B is neither an immediate neighbor of A nor of F. So B cannot be next to F, and B cannot be next to A. That means the only place B can take is this one. There is no other option for B, and we know that D and B are seated next to each other. D and B are adjacent to each other. So that means there are 2 options for D right now. One option for D is this one, and another option for D is this one. So D could be towards the left of B, or D could be towards the right of B, because D and B are adjacent to each other. So that means there is a case scenario here. But we'll look at the last statement here, the second last clue. C is to the second right of D. Okay, so if you take here also we know E is not an immediate neighbor of F. So actually we have to go to this clue here, see, because already we don't know where D is, we can't do much about C, but we know E is not an immediate neighbor of F. That means E cannot be here next to F. Similarly, E cannot be here also. So these two positions E cannot take. A and B have already occupied these two positions. That means E can take only this position. D cannot be here. E will be here, and that means D will be here, and that's final. And if we have A, E, B, D, F, who is left then? The answer is C is left, so C will go here. And with this our arrangement will get complete. So the last clue played a very important role here in helping us find out the answer. So sometimes you have to skip clues and go on with the other clues and see what else is given in the question, so that it can help you solve the question. So see how easily we solve this question for you just in under 2 minutes. The right approach is there, the right way of approaching the question will always make sure that you get the answer without any doubt. Alright, so now we'll see the answers. Let's look at the question number 1. What is the position of E with respect to A? E with respect to A. So let's look at E with respect to A, that's immediate left. So answer will become A. And what is the, who is sitting to the immediate left of C? Immediate left of C. C is here, immediate left of C is A. So the answer becomes A. And how many persons are seated between C and F? So how many are there between C and F? So if you look at C and F, the answer will be 0 or the answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So either it will be 4 or 0. 0 is there in the answer option, so we should say 0. Clear? This also can say, fine, when counted from the right of C or counted from the left of F, these are also mentioned additionally in the question, so that there is no confusion whether it is 0 or 4. This is a simple question, I did not mention that additionally here, and the answer here is 0. So we have done this question now, circular seating arrangement question number 1, and now we'll look at the circular seating arrangement question number 2. So let's see how this question is there. So 7 people A, B, C, D, E, F and G are sitting around a circle. 5 of them are facing the center, so that's a very important clue given to you here, that not all of them are not facing the center. 5 of them are facing the center and 2 of them are facing opposite to the center. Okay? So 5 are facing towards the center, 2 are facing opposite to the center. That is the setting of the question, and then we have the clues given to you here. I have taken only 2 questions. Ideally in a puzzle set like this, you will get 5 questions or 6 questions in the examination. Clear? So this is slightly complex as compared to the previous one, because here all are not facing the center. Some of them are facing towards the center and some of them are facing away from the center, that's opposite to the center. So let's go to the question and make the diagram. So first let's do the setting part. So this is the setting part. 7 people are there, 7 persons are there, as equidistant as possible. Even if it's not mentioned, you will do that. You will make sure that the persons are equidistant from each other. So let's make a circle and okay. So 7 persons are there. So 1, let's say 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. So we have made them as equidistant as possible. So there are 7 persons, 7 positions that we have taken. For the 7 persons, we don't know who is facing towards and who is facing away. That we have to find out as we progress in the question. Now let's start with the first clue here. C is third left of D and both are facing the center. Alright, very good. So we know that C is third to the left of D. At the same time we also know that C is both are facing the center. So if you start with D, C is third left of D, so let's place D here, and we know that D is also facing the center, as is C. So C is third left of D, so if you count from here 1, 2 and 3, this is the third left. That means C will be here. And which direction is C facing? C is also facing the center. How do we know that? The question tells us very clearly that both are facing the center. So our initial first very important clue is done. Now let's go to the next one. E is neither an immediate neighbor of D nor of C. Now you already know the meaning of immediate neighbor. So E is not a neighbor of D, E is not a neighbor of C, and we don't know which side is E facing, but we can tell at least that if I just show you here, E cannot come here because E is not an immediate neighbor of D. Similarly, E cannot come in these two positions because E is not an immediate neighbor of C. So if we cancel out this 1 and this 2 and this 3 and this 4, two positions are already occupied. There's only one left for E. This is the only position that E can take. So what we'll do, we'll place E here, but we don't know which side is E facing, so we leave that part, and that is the part that we will be solving as we progress further in the class. We'll see what is the direction that E is facing, and the other persons also yet to be placed in the circle. Let's complete the entire thing and then we'll see which side is E facing. Okay, right. The one sitting exactly between D and F is facing opposite to the center, which means F is not next to D, and there's one person, there's only one person between D and F, so the one person sitting exactly between D and F. So if D is here, F can be here, and this will be the person exactly in between D and F, and this person is facing opposite to the center. I can say it just like this. Okay, let's say this person is facing opposite to the center. Who is that person? We don't know. Which side is F facing? That also we don't know. Clear? So we have to still find out these things, and already we now come to this next clue. G is third right of A and G is facing center. Two things we get to know about G. One is that he is third to the right of A, the person A, and also we know that G is facing the center. Where is A? We don't know. There are three possible options for A. So let's look at these three options. One is this option. This is A. This can be A, or this can be A, and this can be A. And we know that G is third right of A. G is facing the center, but we don't know which side is A facing. Clear? That's what makes it a little tough here. Let's see. Suppose A is here. Okay, let's assume that A is in this position. Now, which side is A facing? Is he facing towards or away? But if he is facing towards the center, right will be in the anti-clockwise, and if he is facing away from the center, right will be in the clockwise. And we don't know which side is A facing, so we have to take both the points into consideration while finding out a suitable position for G. So if I say that he is facing towards the center, third right, 1, 2, 3, it's already occupied, there's already one person, so this is not possible. That means the other thing to consider would be that he is facing away from the center. If he is facing away from the center, third right means 1, 2, 3, that's also occupied. What does it mean? It means A cannot come in this position. Let's cancel this position for A. A cannot come in this position. Now let's take the next position for A, this one. So A can be here, but again we don't know which side is A facing, whether he is facing towards or away, and G is third right of A. So if he is facing towards the center, third right, 1, 2, 3, this position is empty. That's very good, but what is the problem? We know that G is facing the center, whereas this person is facing away from the center. That means this case will not be possible. So we have to take the other case, that A is facing away from the center. If A is facing away from the center at this position, A is facing away from the center, then third right, 1, 2, 3, this is already occupied. There is one person here, D, which means that A cannot come in this position also. That leaves us with only one option for A, and that is this option. And now we know that A is facing away from the center. So third right, 1, 2, 3, G will definitely be here, and we know that G is facing towards the center. Now the last clue of the question says one of B's neighbors is facing opposite to the center. Now where is B first of all? Now you see, already we have D, A, F, C, G, E. All of these positions are occupied, which means for sure there is only one place left for B, and that is this place. One of B's neighbors. Who are the neighbors of B? So you see here, D is a neighbor of B and E is a neighbor of B. One of B's neighbors is facing opposite to the center. D is facing towards the center. That means E must face opposite or away from the center. Let's do that. Okay, so E is facing away from the center. A is also facing away from the center. Two of them are facing opposite to the center. That means remaining 5 will face towards the center. 3 of them we already know. So now F is also facing towards the center and B is also facing towards the center. So now we know both the position of all the persons as well as the direction that they are facing, and the entire set is complete. So So let's go to the questions and see which of the following pair represents persons facing opposite to the center. Just now we have seen A and E are the persons facing opposite to the center. So answer for 1 will be C. And then 2, who is sitting second left of A? So if you go to the question here, second left of A, first left, second left, that's B. So second left of A is B. Both questions are done, and this we have completed. So I have shown to you one example for linear seating arrangement, 2 examples for circular seating arrangement, right? And also explained to you what are different types of questions that can come from seating arrangement. The level of difficulty in your clerical examination will be very much like what we have discussed in the class today. If you have followed the class and if you practice with these questions, I am sure you can solve the questions on circular seating arrangement in your clerk prelims exam without any doubt. So now the time for the class practice pack, in which you have questions based on a similar concept that I have discussed today. Those who have passport access will start solving the question once you hear the sound. The question which most of you get wrong, I will be discussing in my next session. So best of luck to you for your examination, and thank you for watching the video.